I'm James Sweeney, and here is your morning market brief. As always, we're beginning overseas, this time with the major Asian Pacific markets trading well on the downside, with India's Bombay Sensex index trading down 1.84%. The European market sharply lower this morning, and U.S. stock futures are pointing towards a negative open. Meanwhile, all investors across the globe today are focused on Fed Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke, who is speaking in Jackson Hole, Wyoming at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The question is whether or not he will address further economic stimulus and possibly a QE3. Meanwhile, in economic reports overseas, UK second quarter GDP figures grew a total of 0.2% from the first quarter. Growth slowed, however, including manufacturing. This due mostly in part to blames being on austerity measures as well as inflation. At the same time, Japanese Prime Minister Naoto Kan announced his resignation today from the position. This on criticism over his government's response to the tsunami, earthquake, as well as resulting nuclear disaster. Meanwhile, out of the United States, U.S. GDP figures for the second quarter were just released, and they were revised downward to a reading of 1%. Also, consumer sentiment in the U.S. scheduled to be released at 9:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the consensus is for a rise in the index to a reading of 56. Meanwhile, in corporate reports, Tiffany reported a second quarter earnings of 86 cents per share against estimates calling for 71 cents, and it also posted a revenue of $872.7 million. Both earnings and revenue figures exceeded estimates. Pandora, however, posted a second quarter loss of $3.2 million or $6.04 per share. This compared with the loss of $389,000 1 year ago. However, revenue for the company more than doubled to $67 million, pushed by subscriptions as well as advertising. And at the same time, so far, we have gold prices is tapering downwards, and front-month crude prices so far on the downside as they await the release of Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke's speech at 10 a.m.